say it. We got you in here. Last time we left off, you were, I believe, just getting into the court system, getting had to get a lawyer and everything. So let's start from there with that situation.
I got her served in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I had to hunt her down because she refused to come back to Atlanta with our child. We went to court.
Mm-hmm.
Like Milton said, based on what I told them about her and the situation and how they had to set it up to get her served out of state because she refused to come home, they felt as though that our relationship was going to be a battle, I guess. So the retainer fee was $10,000. They go through your 10 grand or whatever you give them, they go through it real quick. And when I say quick, I mean real quick. They respond to motions. That's not even important. They charge you for the emails. They charge you for the phone calls. They charge you to come to court.
Mm-hmm.
They charge you to talk to their lawyer, even though you didn't ask them to talk to their lawyer. So it's a lot of BS that happens when it comes to that. But yeah, I paid the 10 grand. We started it. I had a lot of information previously, like a psychological test that she had done when she type of counseling, where they will ask you questions like, have you ever had suicidal thoughts or attempts? Have you ever this? Have you ever that? Have you ever been abused? When you get counseling, they trying to figure out what they trying to fix, what they trying to work on. They trying to kind of see, on paper so they can dig into it once you come in. And all of those things, abuse, yes. Suicidal thoughts and attempts, yes. So I had a copy of this paper, so I gave it to my attorney to use as proof that she is not in the mindset to keep a kid.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, get her doctor records from when we had our child, proving that they asked her questions after you have a child. After about a couple of weeks after you have a child, you usually come in for an evaluation. They usually have you do a questionnaire like postpartum and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And all the questions that she answered, most of them were suicidal type questions. But with that being said, I had all that information. And when I say that it really depends on the judge you get in the county you are in, because the judge that I had, he was extremely biased, because I was in the courtroom one time and it was a white man who was a lawyer who was representing himself. And the judge did not like that. If you didn't have an attorney, they will railroad you, because at one point in time, I did not have an attorney because I fired him because he was friends with the judge.
Oh, wow. Wait,
Yeah.
so we'll pause a second so we can kind of catch everybody up on the situation with the court. So this particular court system is the child support court system?
This was Superior Court in Cobb County.
Okay, so Superior Court. So you guys were you were dealing with, so this wasn't actually dealing with child support. This was dealing with
child custody.
Oh, so you guys were dealing with custody. So you're dealing with your parental rights.
Correct. And then within the parental rights, you would obtain a temporary order that would go over child support payments that you would have to pay. So I had to submit my tax returns, any checks that I might have had, things like that, and they would come up with a number. But in this instance, with this being my first court case and how I know that they were railroading me, they never asked for my taxes. I never submitted them, nor did I ever submit a paycheck. And they had no documents that I gave them to suffice why I had to pay that.
That's crazy. So they had put in what is that? I can't remember the official term when they insert the amount of money automatically based off of your background, your employment background, and then they'll come up with a particular number according to your employment history, education history, and then just come up with a number based off of what they think you are qualified to make, and then use that number as the amount that you would end up paying.
I'm assuming they did, because I never submitted anything, nor did I ever tell them what kind of work I did. But her and her attorney, like, he got a BMW, he has a Jaguar, Your Honor, he owns multiple properties, Your Honor. And I was just staring like,
say, how y'all come up with that? That's what it was. It's called imputed income. The court can impute income to parents. If a parent is unemployed, underemployed, or dishonest in reporting gross income, the law allows the court to assign income to that parent. Previously, Georgia courts could impute minimum wage earnings from a 40-hour work week to an underemployed parent or at the amount that they set or that they speculate, so they can basically create you a straw man. If you ain't there or you don't have enough sufficient information, they'll create this straw man of who Cedric Towns is, and then
Right.
that dude is the one we want, not the real one. You ain't making enough. We want we want said with the degree. We want said with the nice property, and we gonna use that amount that we estimate that your wealth is, and then we'll calculate it from there. That's crazy.
Yeah. I went in there, and when I went in there, I filed this motion myself because at the time that's when I had fired my attorney, and I was asking for a decrease in child support. I don't even know where y'all came up with these numbers at because it was never discussed. That's when the attorney was saying all these things. And that's when the judge said on record, and I think he had them take that out the record. That's another problem that I have. I don't like how judges are able to cuss and say things that can get the whole court case throughout. They will tell the person who's typing to scratch what they just said or take it out. I don't think that's cool at all.
Remove it from the record. They never said it.
Yes.
Wow.
But with that being said, when the attorney was saying what I have and the cars that I drive or whatever, that's when the judge was like, I don't even have a BMW. I don't even have a Jaguar.
Oh, wow. That's stirring the pot.
And I was like, what they got to, I'm looking like, what they got to do with me? Like, you don't even know if these are my cars. This can be Milton car. Milton can be letting me drive his car.
Wow.
You don't even know if it's my car. It can be a rental.
Yeah, because
you're judging me based off what you don't know, which means that's how I knew at that point I was getting railroaded, because if they get in Atlanta, like Milton told me when he was dealing with Atlanta, because I wasn't in Atlanta at that point. Atlanta was the second court case where I officially got my daughter. But when I got to Atlanta, that's when they give you an itemized sheet that, thank you, Milton, for helping me go over it and put me in check in certain areas. With that being said, they get dry cleaning, cars, insurance, miscellaneous. Like they ask you a list of things of how much do you think that you pay for these things a month. The other place, they didn't ask me any of that information. That's how I know that they were trying to railroad me, because if you wanted to know if I had a BMW and a Jaguar, you would have gave me a sheet and I would have had to write it down, including how much I pay a month and everything with it. And if I didn't put it on there, then that means you wasn't supposed to base it off that, because it could have been a rental or it could have been somebody else's car. That's how I knew that they was trying to get over and they were trying to railroad me. But yeah, that county situation issue that I had with them. So I'll stay on topic. That was that county. And at that point, kept going to court. We kept going to court, and I had to hire me another attorney after the other one got fired. And at that time, I saw that when I went back to court, they were saying that they was going to wait another 6 months before they, schedule another court case for me to come to. And at that time, I was only getting a couple of days with my daughter, a couple of hours. And I'm like, I'm just about to dismiss this court case because all they doing is draining my pockets. And at that point, I felt like if I keep going, I'm gonna end up going bankrupt. This was like 2016. And I'm like, I'm doing okay. My business is pretty successful, not as successful as it is now. But, it's kind of like I'm still young. I still got a lot of stuff I got to pay. You know what I'm saying? And how this judge is going and how these lawyers' prices is, I didn't have to go to the safe. You know what I'm saying?
Crack that old safe, huh?
You know what I mean? So it's like, it was a lot going on. So with that being said, I dismissed that court case. I tried to work it out with the mom individually through a text message. I told her, I apologize for the discord that I've added to this situation. But at the end of the day, like I told you from the beginning, when I first broke up with you, I just want to be a part of my daughter's life. I just want to raise my daughter. Me and you, it's a wrap. Her response pretty much was, you did this.
Oh, wow.
Like you did this. This is why this is happening. And I never saw my child for almost 2.5 years. I didn't see my child, and I text her over 100 times within those 2 years, and she had to block me because it never said delivered at the bottom. The only time it said delivered was after I got her served again when I went to Atlanta and we had court, and the judge granted me my visitation the first day, and then instantly she sent me a message asking me some questions And then that's when everything said delivered. And I took snapshots every single week of it not saying delivered. It didn't say delivered until 2.5 years later when the judge gave me my temporary visitation rights in Atlanta, which is crazy because that means, and the courts never had my number, which means that you had my number for 2.5 years and you never reached out to me.
Wow.
But you reached out to DHS to put me on child support with the state.
Wow.
So
that's my story with that county. And then, we can get to the Atlanta situation, I guess, after meal.
So this was what county was this one?
This was the most racist county in Georgia that I know of. Top 3, Cobb County.
Oh, dang.
Oh, wow.
Cobb County.
Oh, so Cobb doing
Marietta
it like
Square.
that.
Worst judge in history.
Dang.
Worst judge.
Yeah, I've only been there just for tickets. But that's crazy.